G'day all, Commissioner of the TRSBA, Tim Wilshire here. How are we all today? Yep, I haven't done an update for a while, so 2/3 of the way through the season. The last time I did a bit of any sort of update was at the halfway point of the season. So we're now down to 36 games, 18 to go, getting down to what we call the nitty gritty stuff. Let's have a look at the news in the TRSBA right now. The Wild Boars, they've signed Gary Harris. Yep, fair enough. He's playing well. Grayson Allen's been waived. Yep, he looks like Robin Williams gone wrong. It is finally the time that the Orange County Double Doubles have decided to actually do something here. They've decided to actually sign some players. One of the best rookies for 2021 is this guy. He's having a great year. I think he even won the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month for, in the Eastern Conference for December.
That's about it, Lieutenant
Wagner.
Wagner.
No, Wagner. Wagner.
W-A-G-N-E-R, Wagner. Franz Wagner. So it's an interesting one there now. Dan is probably, I'm not sure how many trades he's done since the last update, but he did trade Otto Porter, I think, second round pick for Bogdan Bogdanovic, so nothing much to worry about there. They also traded, let's have a look at this one. This was a bit of a bigger trade. The Red Devils traded Schroeder, Precious Achua, dickhead TJ Warren for Hamidou Diallo, overrated, but just had a good spell. Malik Beasley, Spencer Dinwiddie now, he might come good. And a second round pick of the Butchers. So that's an interesting trade there, guys. But who won? It's really a nothing trade like most of these trades are. I would probably pick, if I was to pick any side of that one, I'd probably go with maybe Spencer Dinwiddie, but it's just neither here nor there, to be honest. We've got also James Harden has played his 700th game. Big news for James.
He has a big, shiny, fancy fucking four-wheel drive, but he doesn't know how to change a tyre. Harden the fuck up, Anthony. He has a...
Yeah, so he's played that. There also Josh Giddey with a career high, finally got his triple-double, 45 fantasy points for Josh Giddey. It was great to have his dad in attendance for this one. And also Trey Young. I don't know if this is a career high. It says a season high, 70 fantasy points for Trey Young. He's about the only shining light there for the Saints. Okay, what else? And other news, Lonzo Ball's up to 200 games. Stephen Curry's passed Joe Johnson for the 18th all time. Also broke a free-point record, I think, since the last time we spoke. Okay, so, whoops, cheat. Rightio. And then what? So let's go through some of these standings. Let's just go through the standings in a bit of depth. I'm not going to really go through every game over the last 9, but let's have a look at the standings. Now, what we noticed is the Wild Boars are still on top here, 29-7, an average of 231. Very, very solid from the Wild Boars. This is more of a review than a game review. So they've got right on the cap there. They're still to sign 4 players, or up to 4 players they can sign. They've got 7 signed. As far as who they're looking to sign there, I'm not sure. I mean, they've certainly got room to sign more players. I mean, Will Barton's neither here nor there. You could probably sign him, but I'm not sure. Maybe they'll sign the rookie Miles McBride or Isaiah Jackson. I'm not too sure, but Giannis, Durant, these guys, Durant's back, so he's playing well. LeBron, those three are fucking playing. Those three guys are top 6 in the TRSBA at the moment. Ingram and Mitchell, both guys in the top 30, I would think. So very, very good team. It's just where it gets dicey after those starters. So if you sort of one of those starters misses, you're up shit creek. You really are. So yeah, I don't know. It'll come down to injuries. If those guys can avoid injuries, then I think they've got a really good chance of doing it. But again, probably one of the worst benches in the TRSBA at the present time. Tampa Bay. So hang on, Alabama. And Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay have had some really rough games lately.
Tampa Bay, this season was a whirlwind.
Very much a whirlwind season. I mean, they look like they're very, very good, but very cold of late. Carl Anthony Towns, he's playing like an all TRSBA player. Christian Wood, 5 million 3 years. That's a big extension for him because I think he's fucking shit. I don't think in 4 years' time he's not fucking getting anything more than 25 FP. He's fucking not a good player. Miles Bridges started off as one of the most improved players. Jimmy Butler, DeJounte Murray. Now, so they've signed these guys. They've got those 5 locked up. Clint Capella also, he's there for next year. Cole Anthony, this guy is an absolute doing well, but he's injured quite a lot. Ben Simmons. So when Ben Simmons come back, they could be very, very dangerous. Sadiq Bey, good rookie. I think he's playing well. Eric Gordon. Covington, I think they're signing some of these guys that can actually make a difference deep on the list. They're holding on to Kelly Olynyk in case he ever decides to make a return. Yeah, so Jamal Murray. So there's plenty of guys to come back here, and so they're looking pretty powerful at the present time. Third on the ladder at the moment, Dan. Red Devils. Let's see who they've got on their team because I forget half the time because they trade so bloody much. 23-13, a very good record, a very good Porzingis playing really, really well. Kevin Love. Now he was a guy they traded for recently. Gave a lot for him, but he's producing. James Harden. Not known much more needs to be said there. He's playing well. Chris Paul. That's a pretty good deal for him. Yeah, it'd be good if they had LeBron instead of Chris Paul, that's for sure. Bojan Bogdanovic. Miles Turner is now being sent to the bench. Same sort of stats as Kevin Love. Montrezl Harrell, is he coming back soon? Hope so. Trent. So yeah, still a deep team. So they stand where they stand at the moment. If we have a look at the Wolfhounds, they've actually got a losing record, so they're 6 games behind. They are 6 games behind the Red Devils, and they would make the playoffs at the moment. Let's have a look. Struggling at the moment, 194.8 average. Things have slowed down a bit in the East. If this is your 4th best team, Vucevic is playing pretty decent. Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre, overrated, having a lot of good games at the moment for Kelly Oubre. Josh Giddey, what's a really cheap rookie contract for him, I think. He's already averaging well over 20 fantasy points a game. Russell Westbrook, there's only one way, and that's down for him, I think. Harrison Barnes, Cameron Johnson, a good player. Malik Monk showing some signs. Mikal Bridges, a little bit overrated, but can sign for a cheaper extension there. So that's good. Laurie Markkinen, yeah, probably signed him at the right time. He's been worthy enough, and some good other players they picked up there as well. Duarte hasn't actually been signed yet. I'm surprised, but they've got a full cap, so they need to use that cap space and get him just before the end of the year. On to the next team. We've got the brown cows. Now, brown cows have been disappointing because Timmy had them really high. I would have thought they would have flipped this. So I thought they would have been more like 21 and 15 rather than 15 and 21. But Jeremy Grant has been a big burden, and we've had a shit fucking season from Julius Randle. Jaron Jackson Jr., at least he's been playing, I guess. Not that well, according to the 24 fantasy points for Jaron Jackson. Yeah, so they're all definitely struggling at the moment. There's no one there that's really sticking out. They're Holmes has been not as good as he should be. RJ Barrett hasn't got to any sort of next level. Kemba's been hurt a lot. He's not great anyway. D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo's good, but at the end of the day, D'Angelo. And the other thing too, so they are struggling. And what you'll notice there is the Jags have got a better percentage, but we'll see how that looks. Lions 189, 14 and 22. We knew they would struggle this year. This is not surprising. The big Penguins starting, that should never happen. That's absolutely ridiculous. Why is that contract so high? We need a commissioner sort of inquiry into that $5.9 million contract. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. What the fuck happened there with that contract? I'd love to know. Someone just, if you're watching this podcast, let me know how that sort of came about. It just doesn't make sense. Anthony Davis, $7 million a year for him. That probably makes a bit more sense. Wigo, $3 million a year. Yeah, okay. DeRozan, he's playing to this sort of level at the moment, but that was a pretty expensive extension, 5.2. Booker 5.8, that makes sense. So that those top five players are getting paid a truckload of money. Already 30 million. They've only got 6 players. They've got Suggsy as well, hasn't played a lot. Rubio, Klay Thompson, I think they'll probably resign Klay Thompson, and he'll get, if we have a look at Klay at the moment, what's his extension? These are very important things. Played his first game today, looked fantastic, 17 points for Klay Thompson. Where is that extension details there? Just want to know his signing. So he's only a 2.3, so that's not too bad for the asking price, considering all those injuries. It's been a truckload of those injuries. Gets a huge discount as a result. Hasn't played since 2019. Wow. So 2020, 2021, missed the last 2 seasons. So, yeah. DeMarcus Cousins, not sure why he's there, but at least they've got a deep team. They've got Crowder, Maladon, and I think they'll do something with him sooner or later. So that's the Lions. At least they're looking at it. The other team was the Predators in the East. Embiid, yep, very good player. Paul George, looking at signing an extension. Let's have a look at that. I'd say it'd be about 5 or 6 mil at the moment. Let's see if it's worth signing. It's 5.7. I'd probably jump on that pretty quickly, but it might go down before he gets injured as well. Oladipo, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that guy. They've still got 6 extensions to sign. Nurkic, yeah, he played well today. Caruso, Kat Connaughton. I mean, who are you going to re-sign here? Moses Moody will definitely get a contract. I'm not sure who else. Ayo Dosumadu, he's a good player. Those 2, I would say he'll sign, as well as Paul George. I don't know why he'd sign Oladipo, but what's his extension? So he's only 2.2, so that's about half his contract. So that's fair enough. And the Jaguars, let's have a look at the Jags. I think we're getting a lot more out of Kyle Kuzma than we had anticipated, to be honest. I think he has had a better year than I expected. This has been a very good front court, actually, be it Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma, and Gobert. These 3 guys have all three of them have performed better than I thought. So Gobert, 32.9, having a great year, 26.2 for Bobby, signed an extension as a result. Kuzma, 25.5, is playing pretty decent, had a huge game today. The problems with this team has been the guards. Devontae Graham has not sort of come up to where he should have been getting. He's very slippery. McCollum has been injured, which is not unusual, 24 games only. Jakob Poeltl's been really, really good. He's been solid. Reggie Jackson started off solid, is slowing down there at the moment. Joshua Tate is up for grabs for that last roster spot as far as being resigned. He's playing well enough to think about, at least think about him. Zubac has already got that contract. Man, not playing well enough. He won't get re-signed. He'll get waived at the end of the year. Vassell and Washington have already got contracts. Garrison Matthews not around for long. Josh Jackson, we would love to get rid of him. Jaden Springer, 2 games. I think we might just waive him and try to get him next year, perhaps. We'll see what happens. Jared Butler will get protected. So that's the Jaguars team there. If we go to the West, let's have a look at Death Valley. They always don't put a foot wrong. They always try. I mean, I like to think that when was the last time, this is a quiz question for when's the last time they weren't on top of the Western Conference? So let's have a look what they've got here. 39 million resigned. They've got 10 players, so they're fully capped for next year, as it were. And they've always like that. This is what the battle they have every year. Bam Adebayo has been injured. Siakam has been injured at times as well. Tatum has not been able to shoot the ball very well. He's still averaging 36.8 fantasy points, so that's still pretty solid. Curry at 36.7, his shooting hasn't been good, and that's why that's down. Lillard, that's definitely a problem for Lillard, definitely a big problem at the moment. Levert's doing what he does. I'm a bit amazed that he's 32.9 over the last 10 and he's 25 for the year. That's a bit odd, but he's started off pretty slow and he's starting to pick things up a little bit. Lowry, he's still very good at 35, 24.8. Maxey, now he's really done really well in the second year. He's had some soft games, but he's solid. Draymond's doing Draymond stuff. Horford started off the season well, not in the rotation at the moment. Jordan Poole, it's one of those things, is he going to stick around or not, or get traded? So, and Chimera Kiki, probably a mistake making a multi-year offer for him, but, these are the gambles you got to take. Sometimes Bogdan Bogdanovic is not a good player anymore. Unfortunately, he needs to. I think he will be maybe one time in his career, but he's getting to an age where Bogdan Bogdanovic is 29, so he's really peaking and he's getting injured a lot. So I don't really value Bogdan Bogdanovic as far as a fantasy player anymore. The Tigers, now this is surprising that these guys are coming second. San Francisco.
San Francisco, where's your disco?
I'm impressed with Wendell Carter, very impressed with Domantas Sabonis, very impressed with Scotty Barnes. Halliburton, very impressed with him, and De'Aaron Fox impressed. So they've got a very solid starting 5. Lonzo Ball off the bench, very, very solid there. Mo Bamba is great. Patrick Beverley, very solid as well. So they've got some solid rotation players there. Very deep though. There's 2 guys there that are rookies, so that's good. Don't know when Jonathan Isaac's coming back. And you've got 4 players to resign. You've got plenty of cap space, so we expect De'Aaron Fox. Let's have a look at what he's going to look at resigning for. It's about 4.8. That's about right. Who else? You'd probably resign Lonzo, of course. It's going to be at least 3 mil, you'd think, but it might be cheap. Yeah, it is right on 3, so you're probably best off signing that way you can. Marcus Smart, can't believe he's only 27, looks 37. He's asking for 2. That's probably about right. So there's 3 players there. You'd probably go with Toppin's, obviously very overpriced. Beverly, don't know it's not sure where they'll go as far as signing someone else. I'm sure one of these rookies might get signed as well. Let's have a look at the Saints, and this is pretty bad. But we need to have a look. Yeah, so having a look at the Saints. We've got Ayton. He's been around. He's good. They've got 11 players signed, so they've resigned all their players. Evan Mobley, great rookie. There was some jitters in the game I saw today, though, but overall they've been really, really good. SGA, very, very good. Ja Morant, that's a cheap price that they got him at the right price. He's very good at the moment. Trae Young, double the price of Ja, which is very odd considering they're about even as far as I'm concerned, as far as how good they are as players. Hero, a bargain at 1.1. OG Anunoby, that's about where he's at. Hasn't played a lot. Zion, big issue with him at the moment. When's he coming back? Kevin Porter, yeah. Daniel Gafford, he's going to certainly be a free agent, I'd say, unless they can get traded away. The Jags might be interested. Marquise Chris, or maybe not. Goga Batutse, Dante DiVincenzo. There's no real guards there. If there was a guard, I might attack one. If you want to get rid of a good guard there, Dennis, I need one. Maga Porter, yeah, what a sad story that is. Okay, on to the next team. We've got the Flyers. Obviously, Joker's been playing well. Middleton is playing not as good as usual. So they've still got to sign an extension for Joker. This is going to be about 8 or 9, I reckon, or maybe more. What are we looking at? 8.7. So you better resign that before you bloody forget. I'd love him to be a free agent. Lugens Dort. Brogdon, Terry Rozier. So not a bad lineup, but then that's where it gets fucking shit. Look how bad this bench is. It's fucking absolutely shocking. Hopefully Kawhi Leonard comes back at some point. But if you have a look at Kawhi, the type of extension he'll ask for will be about 5.6. So maybe you have to do that for 2 years. So what a wasted contract this year for Kawhi Leonard, though. Duncan Robinson, yeah. So that's the Flyers. Then on to the doubles. Finally sorted some of their shit out, which is good. They didn't have any cap room before for Wagner. Now they've got him, so that's good. JV, Jonas Valanciunas, has been pretty solid, actually, I think. I like his hairstyle. Can't forget this guy, Doncic. Missed a lot of games. He's only played 24, 38.8. So it's been a bit of a worry. Kyrie Irving's just played the one game for 31 fantasy points. Jrue Holiday, look at that lately, 32.9 over the last 20. That's very, very solid. Started out very, very, very quiet. Jrue started out, to be honest. Everybody was so what else is happening? They've got I think they'll compete a little bit in the playoffs. Everyone's sort of there doing some stuff. So on to the next team. We've got the Hurricanes. Again, what's going on here? Starting Gallinari, starting Aldridge. Are we talking tanking or not? But they're not on the bottom at the moment. So, but it's not a good team, really. They've got LaMelo Ball. He's their best player by far. Is that really all they've got? And Derek White's just doing what he does at 23.9. Josh Hart has been a good find, actually. Probably should be starting ahead of Tim Hardaway. He's definitely could be forward eligible. If you're listening there, mate, fucking make him forward eligible because he's forward eligible. Paddy Mills, yeah, Jordan Clarkson, Hassan Whiteside, just a bunch of fucking stiffs, to be honest. But anyway, they're still somehow third from the bottom. What else have we got here? The Penguins. The makings of a good team here. They drafted okay. Obviously, they've got Cade Cunningham, they've got Jalen Green, both with big contracts, but that doesn't matter when you've got a shit amount of cap being used, only using 27 and 24.4. Fort's out injured. Aneka Okongwu will be good one day, maybe. Got drafted high, of course. Robert Williams is playing well. Who else is doing well here? Omer Yurtseven, a good signing there. Boucher, shit. I don't think he's playing too well. Bledsoe, yeah. Alperin Şengün. I like that pick. I think that's certainly a good long-term pick. And I think this team might be good one day, but not fucking this year. Okay. That's how it is. I'm sorry. And then I think we finish off with the snipers. Let's have a look at the snipers. Cade Cunningham, sorry, there was Cade in there for that other team. The snipers. Let's have a look. Jared Allen has been fantastic. I just don't understand how this guy's played so well. A good 4-year extension for Jack Garland. That's cheap. That's really, really good. He's playing really, really well. That's a very good move, to be honest. That's smart. Very smart. Marcus Morris, I think he'd be good for a while. I think they're going to try to be competitive. I'm not sure, they've still kept their pick, which is important for the next 2 years. You never know. It doesn't look great at the moment. They might end up there again. So a lot of youngsters here, and one day you just never know. Someone might take off. Jared Allen's only 23, and look at this, mate. He is definitely one of the biggest surprises of the year, as far as I'm concerned. 30.3 fantasy points a game for him. Ant Edwards, 30.5. Darius Garland, all-star, in my opinion. He's been 34 over the last 5, 28 for the year. Bench is pretty shit, but you expect that with a lot of these young players. We have a look at the scoreboard. Let's just have a look at some of these recent games. Brown Cows beat the Red Devils in a low-scoring one. Snipers and Butchers, a win for the Snipers. So this is the game that the Butchers would be very embarrassed about. Let's just have a look at actually what happened here. They were at home as well, which is even worse. They couldn't field a team. They had all these players out. I mean, it's pretty hard with COVID, isn't it? I mean, you'd want extra players, but they couldn't find them. So that's why they lost this one, even though Buckets was playing, which he hasn't been playing much either. Wob, I mean, look at this Jaguar performance, 236 in a losing effort. Jay Sean Tate had 34, being good. Would beat most teams with this sort of score, but the Wild Boars are a different animal. Even though they've got no bench, they just decided to have Durant, James, Mitchell, and Barton even got 30, so that could have been a difference too. Old Barton usually gets 20. That would have probably been the difference. What else have we got there? Lions Predators, a big win for the Preds. Very tasty win, actually. Barbarians beat the Flyers. Wolfhounds double was a good win for the Wolfhounds. Sort of up and down like a yo-yo. Saints, Jesus, 256, Dennis. And I didn't think you could field a team. You could field a team here. Look at that. 70 from Trae Young. 51 from the guy with hops. This guy, unbelievable year for Ja Morant. Jesus. So posting a big score of 256, and this was without Porter, Williamson, Ayton, SGA, and that's some big lever there. When they're all healthy, very, very good. OG Anunoby was back. He's not too bad either. Hero's been great all year. What else? Any other games to really talk about here? I think we're pretty much done. I think I'm done. It's been a good update, guys. 2/3 of the way through the season. All the best from here. Hard to know what happens with all this COVID shenanigans. All I know is, Barbarians will win the West. Looks like the Boars are going to win the East. These are my predictions now. I think the Brown Cows are, they might struggle as well. So I don't know which 3 East teams will miss, are going to miss out. The West is pretty obvious. I think that's going to probably be the Hurricanes, Penguin, and Snipers. If I were to bet right now, the team's missing out on the playoffs there. And Jaguars most likely to miss out. They're a bit too far behind. Their average is looking good, but never say never. We've still got 18 games left, which is a lot of regular season. That's been another episode of the TRSBA Roundup. Commissioner Tim Wilshire, first one of 2022.